3. Colbert converts again.
Outside to Clavel. Full on 20-footer. Goal! Bounce past the Duffy left hand.
Hello, and welcome to CTV Sports on this fine Monday night. I'm Olivia Landis.
And I'm Karlee Schwarzkopf, bringing you the latest and greatest in CSU sports.
Karlee and I would like to take a quick moment to recognize the recent passing of Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez and golf legend Arnold Palmer. In respect to both athletes, Karlee and I will cheers an Arnold Palmer tea in their memory.
From all of us at CTV, we give our deepest condolences to the families and loved ones of these sports legends. Rest in peace.
The Colorado State volleyball team claimed its second conference win for the season this past Saturday with a sweep against San Jose State. The victory marked the Rams' 21st consecutive Mountain West Conference win and improved them to 8-5 on the season. The Rams got off to a slow start, trailing by 6 in the first set. It wasn't until after a pair of kills by Kirsty Hillier and a block from Sonia Cheesemick that the team was back in the game, trailing by 3. Then Olivia Nicholson chipped in a kill, giving the Rams the fire they needed to come back with the first win. The slow starts didn't last long, however, as CSU jumped out and took set number 2 in a swift 25-18 win. Katie Alexic had 14 assists on the total 15 kills for the period, allowing the Rams to out-hit the Spartans. Cheesemick and Nicholson appeared helpful again as they both tallied 4 attacks. The final set came with a bit of a battle when SJSU went on a 10-5 run to narrow CSU's once 8-point lead to just 3. The Rams held on with a tight finish, though, claiming the sweep in the final set, 25-21. Next up, Colorado State hits the road to face Utah State this Thursday and won't return to Moby until October 13th to host Nevada. Now, Karlee, so far this season, I would say we've been pretty impressed with this fairly young CSU volleyball team. They have only one senior, Cassidy Denny. What have you really seen improvement-wise so far?
Improvement-wise, it can be hard when you lose all your seniors. The freshmen have stepped up. That's what I've seen the most from the CSU women's volleyball team. They play every game really hard, they play really smart, and they know who to pass to, and they're working really well together.
Yeah, and Coach Tom Hilbert has said multiple times in press conferences that he's very impressed with this set of freshmen. You know, they come in and they're different. You could tell they have something special about them. They come in with the talent, they're ready to go, and it's really portrayed on the court so far that we've seen.
Definitely. This CSU women's volleyball team is a great team. Getting recruited to come here is a big deal. In the past, freshmen have had a couple years, get their feet on the ground, but this year it's a little different. Since everyone's graduated, they've really had to step up, and I think Coach Tom has really expected them to do that, and I think they've done well.
Absolutely. Coach Tom Hilbert, being the experienced coach that he is, expect nothing but great things out of this team.
Absolutely.
Well, the CSU football team picked up its second loss of the season this past Saturday after coming up short and falling 31-24 at Minnesota. The Rams played in front of a crowd of over 44,000 at TCF Bank Stadium, dropping to 2-2 on the season, whereas the Golden Gophers improved to 3-0. Freshman quarterback Colin Hill made his second career start, completing 15 of 30 passes for 182 yards and 1 touchdown. However, Hill threw 1 interception and was sacked 3 times, one of those times being continually shown and shared on national television. Michael Gallup was Hill's top target for the game with 6 receptions, including 1 15-yard touchdown that brought the Rams within 1 score of the Gophers in the final 6 minutes of play. The last touchdown drive started off as a bold call by head coach Coach Bobo for a fake punt. Although the Rams hung tough until the final minutes of the game, it still wasn't enough to get even within the Gophers. With a few hiccups in the offensive game, defense seemed to be where Colorado State struggled the most. With just 2 returning starters from last season's team, the Rams defense couldn't take down Minnesota running backs Rodney Smith and Shannon Brooks, as well as quarterback Mitch Leidner. When the Gophers ran the ball, Smith ran for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Brooks added 85 yards and 1 touchdown. Leidner had a successful passing game, completing 16 of 20, but his running game was much stronger, gaining 50 yards and 1 touchdown. The last time CSU picked up a win over a Big Ten Conference team on the road was 1998 at Michigan State. The Rams return home this Saturday to play conference play with the annual Border War against the Wyoming Cowboys. Kickoff time is set for 8:15 p.m. and will be broadcast on ESPNU. Now, Karlee, that was, actually a very good game that we saw between Colorado State and Minnesota. I mean, they went into that game knowing that this was a huge team, and expecting a really big running game. But I would say they held off fairly well.
Yeah, the Rams really held their own against Minnesota. This game is always exciting every year. As you mentioned before, CSU feel that everyone has put a lot of pressure on offense. Who's our quarterback? What are they going to do on offense? And we've kind of ignored the fact that our defense has really been struggling. You mentioned that before. I think the Rams really need to focus on their defense if they want to play these bigger games coming up. Utah State, Wyoming this weekend, we really have to step up.
And I think we've seen a lot of progress from the team since naming a starting quarterback in Colin Hill. But we did see Coach Bobo still put in Fatone Bauta, within a few minutes of the game. It was mainly to run the ball. But, I think that CSU is a little bit more comfortable now as far as the offensive side, now that they have a starting quarterback. But you are absolutely correct. The defense is what's really slacking. They only have 4 returning starters.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're going to see the most struggle this year.
Yeah, with having another young team, kind of like the volleyball team, 6 of our touchdowns, we've had 12 total, so half are from players who were not on our roster last year, whether that be a freshman or a transfer. So again, the CSU football team is just getting to know each other. They're learning, they're working together. Hopefully it comes together at the end of the season and this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Definitely.
Well, we aren't the only ones thinking ahead to this weekend. Coach Bobo knows exactly how important this border war is for his Rams team.
It was disappointing that we didn't finish on Saturday. But, immediately after I talked, the players are talking about playing for the boot. And it means something to these guys, this football team and this community, and they know that. So that's, I know this week should be exciting. We should be excited when we walk in here today. We'll correct, but we ought to be excited about the opportunity we have to play in this game.
The women's tennis team played in its first tournament of the fall at the Colorado Invite this past Saturday. The Rams walked away with 5 single-set victories, 11 single matches, and a pair of double matches during the tournament. Despite the invite getting cut short, 4 CSU freshmen made their collegiate debuts. With one Ram finding great success, Riley Reeves earned a pair of straight sets victories, defeating her Arkansas opponent 6-3, 6-3, and again 6-3. Then her Georgetown opponent 6-2, and then 6-3. Despite losses, several other CSU freshmen had competitive sets, including Alyssa Javaro and Sandra Kita, each going to 3 sets in both matches. Colorado State's head coach Jared Komoda concluded that the tournament, stating, "It was a good first tournament of the year. We had a lot of match play in, and the team got a lot better. Now we need to take a couple of days to recover and get back to work." End quote. The Rams will play in their next tournament this Friday at the Air Force Academy.
Well, coming up, we talk golf, the Roy Griak invite, and get an inside look at a special cross-country runner.
Tune in to KCSU, your student-run radio station at Colorado State University. Live 24 hours a day, every day at 90.5 FM and kcsufm.com. Live local new music now, and news, talk, and sports. KCSU, the radio voice of Colorado State, on the air since 1964.
You're watching CTV, produced by Colorado State University students, bringing you news, weather, sports, and entertainment from campus and beyond. CTV live Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. on campus and Fort Collins on Channel 11. Repeats at midnight, 8 a.m., noon, and 2 p.m.
The Rocky Mountain Collegian is your student-run news and information platform. Pick up your paper on campus or around Fort Collins Monday through Thursday with special editions Fridays. And check out collegian.com anytime for all the latest updates. News, sports, entertainment, opinion, and more. The Rocky Mountain Collegian, serving Colorado State since 1891.
College Avenue has been your student magazine for the last 10 years. College Avenue prints once a month covering topics that are relevant to the CSU and Fort Collins community. We also print special editions like the graduation guides at the end of each semester, the best of CSU each fall, and the orientation guide each summer. Look for us on racks around campus, off campus, or online at collegian.com under the College Avenue tab.
CSU golfer Blake Cannon went 6 under par in Albuquerque, New Mexico to win his second consecutive tournament in one of the sport's oldest fall tournaments in the nation. Previous participants of the William H. Tucker Intercollegiate included Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. Quote, to win on such a tough golf course made it even better. I am so really proud of how well the team played. It has been a great start to the year, end quote. Cannon's individual win elevated the Rams to a second-place finish behind San Diego State. The men's golf team will train for the upcoming Paintbrush Intercollegiate October 10th through the 11th. Another Ram took the title as champion for the second year in a row at the Roy Griak Invitational this past Saturday. Gerald Mock claimed victory at the men's 8K with a time of 25 minutes and 6 seconds. The previous year's standout runner Jefferson Abbey won the meet while Mock took second. Mock and Abbey combined for the first back-to-back individual title at the Roy Griak Invitational since Arizona in 2010 and 2011. Coming in second for the Rams was junior Grant Fisher, finishing 22nd with an overall time of 25 minutes and 37 seconds. Overall, the men's team finished 7th out of 29 teams, where the women's team was led by sophomore Allie Kellner, who finished with a time of 22 minutes and 43 seconds, placing 50th overall. And coming in seconds for the women's team was senior Janelle Links, finishing 52nd overall. Up next, the men's and women's cross-country team travels to Seattle to run in the Washington Invitational.
Speaking of cross-country, senior runner Jefferson Abbey knows exactly what it takes mentally and physically to compete in this often underestimated sport.
You know, you never know what your path is going to be. I started running in junior high school, but it was only because my older brother had a really successful high school career. One of the big things that made me really like it was having that kind of camaraderie and friendship that comes with cross-country. At the end of the day, your performance is all on you and everything you do is all on you, but there's a huge element of the team aspect that it's hard to describe, but it's like amazing to experience. Yeah, I think fear is the greatest limiting factor for any distance runner because you will never know how good you are and how tough you are unless you take a leap of faith. And that leap of faith, there's an unlimited amount of leaps you can take. In every race, there's a moment where you decide who you're gonna be. The joy of this sport is not getting medals and getting trophies and all that stuff. Those are just things. What's a blast is seeing how hard I can push myself, how hard I can push my teammates, how hard my teammates can push me. And that's really what I'll always remember about this sport and my time at CSU is what I've done with other people, not the things I've been given.
With a bit of a rough start to this season, Abbey looks forward to making a difference for his teammates as well as pushing himself to new heights this season.
Next, Olivia and I will dive into this week's top plays coming from football and volleyball.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Well, we've brought you the top plays in the past, and tonight it's time for a new top 4 plays of the week.
That's right, Karlee. Starting with play number 4 comes from the volleyball team. Sonia Cheesemick, we can see her right here on the outside. There's a bump set and a spike right in the face of San Jose State. I think that's one of the biggest hits I've seen from her so far this season.
Yeah, she is a great player. Definitely helps the Rams win every game that they can. She's a great player.
Yeah, and she is one of the older players. She's a junior who we have, Coach Hilbert has talked about, has really stepped up and evolved into a tremendous athlete so far this year.
Definitely. Our next top play comes from number 3 in the football team. And Colin Hill throws to Robert Rees, and he's running, and it looks like he's about to fall, but just kidding, he keeps running. The Rams did that a lot this game, actually. It looked like they were going to fall, but they got right back up.
Yeah, a little bit of stumble, and like we were talking about earlier, I think the offense is finally starting to get a little bit of a hold of one another, and right there is just a perfect example of how they're really pushing forward, and we're seeing a lot of success so far.
Yeah, that was a great run. The Rams had a lot of great plays that weekend. Hopefully this weekend we can see some more running plays, some better offense, and hopefully a little better defense.
Absolutely, and coming in at play number 2, again with the volleyball team, and it is Sonia Cheesemick again with teammate Kirsty Hillier, just a blocking monster, both of those two. We've seen Kirsty Hillier with the blocks every week. She comes up on the top of the stats. Coach Hilbert talks about her all the time. She's strong.
Yeah, she is strong, and she is tall. I don't know who's going to hit that ball over Landis.
I feel bad for that person.
Definitely. And our number 1 play of the week comes again from CSU football, Dietrich Clark, running into the end zone for a touchdown for the Rams. That was a great play.
That's a smooth play right there. We were talking about it. The running game was really strong for the Rams against Minnesota. Again, just this offense, we've seen week to week more and more progress now. Hopefully we can see that from the defensive end.
Yeah, Coach Bobo has mentioned that every week the Rams are getting better. They're not where they want to be, but they've improved tremendously from that CU game.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up this week's CTV Sports. But before we go, our very own Elizabeth Prosty took a tumble today in the football press conference, and let's just say it did not go unnoticed.
Our fan base and our community, I'm excited. You okay? Did y'all get that on camera? You okay? You fell gracefully.
As you can see, Coach Bobo got a good laugh out of it, so it's nice to see Coach Bobo smiling right before this week's game. So thank you, Liz, for that.
Yeah, and despite the fall, Elizabeth is okay. Be sure to check out this weekend's sports coverage on www.collegiate.com. Have a great night.